I'm Seth Lawrence with this expanded 8 o'clock newscast. Streaming to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and a local advocacy group is planning to honor victims at the end of the month. Ashlyn Burris with Dove of DeWitt County explains Dove will host its annual Candlelight Vigil October 28th. It will include guest speakers with the main focus honoring victims of domestic violence.
Each county that Dove serves, which is Macon County, Shelby County, Moultrie County, and DeWitt County, we have candlelight ceremonies every year in October for Domestic Violence Month. So Dove of DeWitt County's Domestic Violence Program is having our candlelight ceremony Monday, October 28th at 6 p.m. That will be at Journey Church, which used to be Assembly of God Church, but now they changed the name to Journey Church. That's right behind Walgreens and that Lutheran church. Mm-hmm. And the address is 801 South Mulberry Street here in Clinton. So we will have some guest speakers. We'll have some singing, but a big thing will be lighting a candle to honor, recognize, and raise awareness for anyone that's ever been a survivor of domestic violence, a victim, anyone that's maybe ever passed away due to domestic violence, and to honor or recognize those that have ever been a huge supporter or helped or been an advocate of someone that's ever been through a domestic violence situation.
Burris adds this is a good opportunity to build a community and support system for survivors who often feel alone in their situations.
I think sometimes whenever we even go through any kind of hard situation, we think, no one else is going through anything like this, or I don't have anyone to talk to, or no one's going to understand me, to where a lot of people have been through a domestic violence situation, or they have seen it happen, or they know someone that's been through it, and we can all be supportive of each other and help each other with resources and raise awareness to help people.
Again, the annual Candlelight Vigil comes up Monday, October 28th at 6 o'clock at Journey Church in Clinton. Find out more at doveinc.org. There will always be long lines at the Apple and Pork Festival, but few compare to the line for the gingerbread cookies, and for good reason. Patty Clem with the Waynesville Women's Club says their gingerbread cookies are made by hand from start to finish.
Well, as most people know, we sell gingerbread cookies that are homemade from start to finish. The dough is homemade. They're rolled out by hand. We bake them and we freeze them throughout the year, and then we decorate them on the spot for the people here that like to enjoy them. It was originally meant to just come up and take a cookie and eat it and leave, but people buy them by the dozens. So we've had to adapt to boxes, and we've had to adapt to drying the bottom layer ahead of time and all kinds of things to try to keep the product as nice as possible for the customer and keep our reputation strong, because we have a good reputation here in Clinton at the Apple Pork Festival.
Clem notes the money they raise from their gingerbread cookies goes towards projects the Women's Club is supporting. Recently, they helped construct a playground. You can learn more about the Waynesville Women's Club by finding a member. This year's Apple and Pork Festival drew just over 80,000 people to Clinton. Get news anytime from your computer or mobile device at DeWittDailyNews.com. Sports is next.
Find out how you and your family can save up to 40% on the meat, produce, and grocery items you use every day by clicking the Clinton Save-A-Lot icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Peterson Insurance Services in Clinton is a 2014 Pekin Insurance Illinois Agency of the Year. Jay Peterson here from Peterson Insurance. Find out about Pekin's auto, home, or life insurance by clicking on our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Time now for a look at sports. I'm Seth Lawrence with this report. Caleb Williams threw for 304 yards and 2 touchdowns in his best performance of the season. DJ Moore caught both scoring passes and had 105 yards receiving against his former team as the Chicago Bears routed the Carolina Panthers 36-10. On Sunday, Williams found Moore wide open on a crossing pattern early in the game for a 34-yard touchdown. From there, just about everything else looked easy. The 3-2 Bears won their second straight after dropping 2 in a row with 2 key pieces they acquired as a result of a blockbuster trade with Carolina in 2023, leading the way. Chicago got a big performance for a second straight week from DeAndre Swift, who had 120 yards from scrimmage and a touchdown. Swift ran for 73 yards with a score and had 47 yards receiving after picking up 165 yards from scrimmage and a touchdown a week ago against the Rams. Roschon Johnson ran for 2 touchdowns, including one in the fourth quarter that was followed by a skirmish in the end zone and ejections for Chicago's Matt Pryor and Carolina's J.C. Horn. The Bears then went for a 2-point conversion, but a pass failed. Kevin Byard got his 29th career interception. Gervon Dexter had a sack and a fumble recovery. The Bears extended the longest current home winning streak in the NFL to 8 games. It is their best stretch at Soldier Field since they won 10 in a row from the 2005 to 2006 seasons. Andy Dalton had a rough outing in his third start for Carolina, who benched last year's top pick Bryce Young. The veteran was 18 of 28 for 136 yards with an interception and was sacked 3 times. Young replaced him in the closing minutes, finishing 4 for 7 for 58 yards and was sacked once. But Canales said Dalton will remain his starter going into Atlanta. Chuba Hubbard ran for 97 yards and a touchdown after going for a combined 218 yards in the previous 2 weeks. He gave the Panthers a 7-0 lead early in the first quarter when he broke through a hole and went 38 yards for a touchdown. It was all Chicago after that. Chicago scored touchdowns on its next 2 possessions, including its opening quarter first of the season when Williams found Moore wide open on a 34-yard pass. Former Bull star Derrick Rose got a huge ovation when he was shown on the Videotron. The Bears gave their fans more to cheer on the next possession when they went 80 yards for a touchdown, with Johnson scoring from the 1 to make it 14-7 and kept rolling from there. Bears left guard Tavon Jenkins, who was questionable with a rib issue, left with an ankle injury. The Bears will play Jacksonville in London next Sunday. Jordan Love completed 9 straight passes after an interception, including a pair of touchdown passes to Tucker Kraft in the second half as the Packers rallied to a 24-19 victory Sunday. They trailed 13-7 late in the second quarter after Jalen McCullough intercepted Jordan Love's off-balance attempt to throw the ball away and ran it back from 4 yards out. But Love, a California native who grew up in Bakersfield, led Green Bay to points on its next 3 drives and benefited from a pair of turnovers to beat the 1-4 Rams for their 9th time in their last 10 regular season meetings. Kraft had 4 receptions for a career-best 88 yards. 2 plays after Xavier McKinney recovered a fumble by Rams running back Kyron Williams and returned it 7 yards to the Green Bay 30. Love connected with Kraft for a 66-yard touchdown to give the Packers a 17-13 lead. Kraft caught the ball at the Rams' 49. Stiff-armed cornerback Darius Williams at the 30 and eluded a diving tackle attempt near the left sideline by Quentin Lake at the 20 before reaching the end zone, after McKinney became the first player since the 1970 merger with an interception in each of his first 5 games with a team. Kraft completed a 7-play drive when he scored from 7 yards out for the first 2 touchdown game of his career. Josh Jacobs, the Packers' big offseason acquisition, had 19 carries for 73 yards and his first touchdown with Green Bay in the first quarter on a 2-yard run around the right end. The Rams are off to their worst start since moving moving to LA in the 2016 season. The last time they dropped 4 of their first 5 to start a season was when they moved when they were in St. Louis in 2014. Kyron Williams had 102 yards rushing on 22 carries and scored for the 8th straight game when he plowed in from a yard out in the second quarter to tie the game at 7. Williams has the longest touchdown streak by a Rams running back since Greg Bell scored in 10 straight in the 88-89 seasons. Matthew Stafford's 1-yard touchdown pass to Demarcus Robinson and the 2-point conversion attempt failed with 3:30 remaining, pulling the Rams within 24-19. LA forced Green Bay to punt on its next possession and took over on their own 29 with 2:57 remaining. The Rams would drive to the Packers' 38, but Stafford was unable to connect with Colby Parkinson on a 4th and 5 with 61 seconds left. Love's first pick 6 came on his 761st career pass attempt. On 3rd and 12 at the Packers' 8, Love was flushed out of the pocket when Byron Young came in unblocked on a blitz. Love scrambled to the back of the end zone and was knocked off balance when he tried to throw the ball away. Instead, McCullough was able to intercept the desperate throw and score. Joshua Carty's extra point attempt, though, was blocked to keep it at 13-7. Jacob's score was set up one play earlier when Love and Reed combined for a highlight reel play on 2nd and 10 at the Packers' 45. Love completed a 53-yard pass to Reed in a tight window near the left sideline. Reed hauled it in despite 3 Rams defenders in the vicinity, including Lake all over Reed's back. The Packers will host the Arizona Cardinals next Sunday. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. snapped a 65-race losing streak by winning in overtime at Talladega Sunday after a late crash collected more than half the field. Stenhouse is not in the playoffs, and his victory marks the 2nd straight week a driver not competing for the Cup Series title has won. The victory was the first for Stenhouse and his JTG Doherty Racing team since he won the season-opening Daytona 500 in 2023. He is the 18th different Cup Series winner this year. A 27-car crash that involved 8 of NASCAR's 12 title contenders, a chaotic cleanup that infuriated competitors, and a surprise winner. Just another regular race at Talladega. Stenhouse won in a 3-wide finish between Brad Keselowski and William Byron, who with his 3rd place finish became the only driver locked into the 3rd round of the playoffs. 4 drivers will be eliminated from playoff contention on Sunday on the hybrid road course oval at Charlotte. Joey Logano, Daniel Suarez, Austin Cindric, and Chase Briscoe are all currently below the cut line. Cindric was the leader with 5 laps remaining in regulation when Logano, 2 rows back, gave Keselowski a hard shove directly into Cindric. It caused Cindric to spin, and 27 of the 40 cars in the field suffered some sort of damage in the melee. Even Stenhouse had a chunk of sheet metal missing from the driver's side door when he drove his car into victory lane. In the chaos of the cleanup, teams were fuming post-race over how NASCAR navigated the crash scene. Some argued Stenhouse's door was missing some safety foam and he should have been forced to pit for repairs. The race was red flagged for nearly 9 minutes of cleanup. 22 cars remained on the lead lap for the 2-lap overtime sprint to the finish. Many of those 22 cars were damaged. Keselowski finished 2nd in a Ford for RFK Racing, followed by Byron in a Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet. Byron is the points leader heading into Charlotte, and his cushion is large enough to earn him an automatic spot into the round of 8. Kyle Larson of Hendrick was 4th, followed by Eric Jones of Legacy Motor Club in a Toyota. Christopher Bell of Joe Gibbs Racing was 6th in a Toyota, followed by Justin Haley of Spire Motorsports. Austin Dillon of Richard Childress Racing finished 8th. Bubba Wallace was 9th for 2311 Racing co-owner Michael Jordan, who was in attendance. And Denny Hamlin, the other co-owner of the team, rounded out the top 10. Only 4 drivers still active in the playoffs finished inside the top 10. Ryan Blaney, who used his win at Talladega a year ago to spark his run in the first Cup Series title, was involved in a crash racing for points on the final lap of the second stage. He was pushed too hard from behind by fellow driver Alex Bowman, and the shove forced Blaney's Ford to take a sharp left and then bounced up on the racetrack into the wall and into Ross Chastain. Blaney tried to keep his battered car out on the track, but the engine eventually failed, ending his race. He was second in the playoff standings entering the race and feared his career-high 7th DNF of the season would drop him to the verge of elimination. Because so many drivers wrecked late, Blaney only dropped to 6th in the playoff standings. The playoff field will be cut from 12 drivers to 8 when 4 are eliminated next Sunday at the Roval at Charlotte Motor Speedway. A.J. Allmendinger won the race a year ago. Get sports anytime from your computer or mobile device at DeWittDailyNews.com.
The old way of doing things makes sense for some things, like a hot dog at the game. But the old ways don't make sense if you expect more yield out of your acres, because there's a new way to unlock the full potential of your fields, and it starts when you plant and list corn. With 4 robust trait tolerances, glyphosate and glufosinate, plus 2,4-D choline and FOP, it unleashes ultimate weed control flexibility with multiple modes of action to fight weeds. See what's possible for your fields at enlist.com/corn.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason. It was a year ago today, the deadly Hamas terror attack on Israel. The day, sometimes referred to as Israel's 9/11, ignited the war in Gaza. And today, Hamas rocket fire from Gaza activated air raid sirens all across Tel Aviv. A strengthening Hurricane Milton could make landfall in the Tampa Bay area at midweek, according to Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Currently, Milton, a Category 3 hurricane. The Supreme Court's fall term is opening today. Arguments due this week over an Oklahoma death penalty case, as well as federal regulation of so-called ghost guns. Donald Trump making it quite clear about how important Wisconsin is in the presidential race. The former president was there yesterday for the 4th time in just 8 days. On Wall Street, stocks opening lower this morning. This is SRN News.
WHOW planting reports are brought to you by our title sponsor, Apex Clean Energy, planting the seeds for a better future in Illinois. Also brought to you by Whiffles Hybrids and your local Whiffles Hybrids dealer. Baum Chevrolet in Clinton, where you'll find the official truck of our planting reports, the 2024 Chevy Silverado. The Macon County Farm Bureau, AA